When it comes to Toshi, could there hypothetically be amazing times ahead? Now, even though nothing I say is financial advice, I just don't see why that would surprise me if that was the case, because I've noticed a trend. Usually, when the space is doing a lot better, when altcoins are doing good, and when there's, let's say, a sentiment where it's very positive when it comes to altcoins, what projects typically do pretty okay as well? I'm not saying they're going to do the best, but I've seen launch pads. And why is that? I think because when the market is doing better, sometimes people just want to launch projects. It's kind of hard sometimes to launch a project when the space just isn't doing good because there's going to be no attention in some cases, not much really to talk about there. And even if the project is good fundamentally, launching during a time where it's not necessarily doing the best when it comes to the space, the attention just really won't be there. However, at the same time, what does Toshi have? It has something called Toshi Mart, which is basically a meme coin launchpad. Now, people may be thinking, who cares about that? Well, imagine when the market does better, let's say. And let's say there is more attention when it comes to the base network, which Toshi is a meme coin on the base network. But besides that, imagine if, let's say, a developer wanted to launch a meme coin on the base network. Could Toshi Mart be the answer? Who knows? But it wouldn't surprise me. We take a look at, for instance, Bonk Fun, right? Bonk Fun is very famous, basically, as a launchpad, and we've seen the sort of attention that had, and we take a look at Bonk. It's a very popular Solana-based meme coin, and that's already kind of established there. Now, Bonk isn't necessarily the most talked about meme coin right now, and especially currently, the way that altcoins are doing, again, it's not necessarily going to be that popular in the grand scheme of things compared to, let's say, not too long ago when the altcoin space was doing, better than right now. But then at the same time, we saw the results that Bonk Fund did. But we haven't really seen that when it comes to Toshi Mart. But I think maybe it wouldn't surprise me if we did see something like that, maybe to a smaller scale because the base network isn't as popular as Solana. But then at the same time, I do like this because if, let's say, I want to think about the base network and I want to think about a meme coin launchpad, what am I thinking about other than Toshi Mart? You know what I mean? It's not like there's 20 or 30 famous options. This is the way I view it. And I feel like Toshi, as a result of that, that could really help it maybe gain attention during, if let's say there is an altcoin season, because if let's say a lot of meme coins want to be launched on the base network and they choose something like Toshi Mart, Toshi, as a result, maybe has some of that attention too. So I think it's really smart, again, when it comes to Toshi Mart. I just feel like even though I am excited when it comes to Brett, which for quite a while was considered to be the most popular meme coin on the base network, which I actually think now shifted to something like Toshi, I feel like Toshi is being handled in the right way. Not to say that Brett isn't, but I really like the way that Toshi is being handled. Again, when it comes to Toshi Mart, now Toshi Tools, it's not really something that's that talked about because it's not really that cool, right? I mean, it just basically helps guide someone towards their journey to be building on the base network. It's like, okay, whatever, right? But then when it comes to something like Toshi Mart, I think that right there could very well be the major driving force for Toshi moving forward. And to a certain extent, we've kind of already seen that formula work out before. We take a look at Bonk Fun, what that did for Bonk. So just generally speaking, I do like Toshi's vibe overall. And keep in mind, when it comes to Floki, it's also, I think, sharing some of the vibes when it comes to Toshi. Or should I say actually the other way around, because Floki is just more established than Toshi. But then it shares a lot of similarities, and I actually talked about this in my previous video. However, what I actually forgot to mention is that when it comes to Toshi, it's similar in the origin of the name when it comes to Floki in a sense. Now, let me explain why. Because Floki, it's named after Elon's pet dog, right? Well, on the flip side, we take a look at Toshi, it's named after Brian Armstrong's pet cat. Now, Brian Armstrong is not as popular as Elon probably, but then at the same time, Brian Armstrong is the co-founder of Coinbase, and again, Toshi is a meme coin on the base network, and then at the same time, Coinbase's layer 2 is the base network. So yeah, it just makes sense overall, and I just kind of like that. I just like seeing that because not only is kind of the naming origin a little bit similar, however, also we take a look at the recent partnership when it comes to Toshi, and in regards to blockchain gaming, which I talked about in my previous video, we see Floki also being focused on blockchain gaming, and initially that was kind of the major driving force behind it. Even though it might not be when it comes to Toshi, I think it's probably going to be Toshi Mart, but, similarities here and there. Also on top of that, We take a look at the BNB Smart Chain. At the time, it was kind of considered to see a meme coin on kind of like, stuff regarding that sort of environment, right? And then now we take a look at something like Toshi, which is a meme coin on the Base network. The Base network is still kind of on the rise in terms of popularity. So I like the similarities there. And again, overall, I'm not necessarily saying that Toshi is going to be the next Floki, even though maybe it could. Who knows, right? In theory, it could maybe not. It could maybe be the case. But at the same time, it just gives me that type of vibe. And I do like that. And this is why I'm still excited when it comes to Toshi moving forward. I really do believe that Toshi Mart is such a smart idea because even though when it comes to Toshi, it's often considered to be a meme coin, but then we've already seen what Bonk Fund did when it comes to Bonk. So then, why not? I don't know why other projects out there don't really do this. Maybe it needs a lot of resources and stuff like that, but then I just don't know why. I mean, that right there, when it comes to Bonk Fund, we literally saw what that did, right? And that was not even that long ago. Toshi's doing it, but I don't see many other projects out there doing that. It's just so bizarre to me. Literally, that's a formula that we kind of seen work out a little bit before. Who knows if it's going to work out for every single project, but still, I don't know why a lot of them don't even try. But even besides that as well, I'm not telling you to do anything, but 2 cents is currently around a 28x from here. Market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply around 8.5 billion. I mean, really, if there's, let's say, a lot of attention for Toshi Mart and we see a lot of launches when it comes to, meme coins on the Base network, maybe using that during an altcoin season, or maybe even, let's say, during a time when altcoins were doing better, because even Bonk Fund had a lot of attention, and that was, I don't think, even during an altcoin season. So if that was maybe the case, and let's say, even on top of that, there is an altcoin season, like just around $8.5 billion market cap, it's not something that would be too ridiculous. Now I get it. Toshi's experienced a slight pullback, around a 28x from here at this point, 2 cents, right? But then still, a lot of meme coins are having a pullback, even something like Bonk, It's not like Toshi's the only thing out there that is having a pullback, but even if it was just because it's on the Base network, and it's just pretty interesting. I like the exchange listings like OKX US, Binance US, and we take a look at something like Coinbase, just seeing all that, just this market cap wouldn't really seem that ridiculous to me. But only time will tell. However, at the same time, I would just much rather prefer this than Shiba Inu. I get it, Shiba Inu has Shibarium, which is basically a layer 2. But I don't know if Shiba Inu could do around a 28x from here. It doesn't mean Toshi will do that, only time will tell. But then at the same time, Shiba Inu has a very massive market cap, even despite the pullback. I don't know if it could do over a 20x in the next maybe 5 months. This is just my perspective. Who knows if we will ever even see an altcoin season during the cycle, but I haven't given up. I like Toshi's fundamentals, and I really do believe Toshi Mart could really be such a major driving force for it moving forward, but only time will tell, and I'm staying patient, holding, because whenever there's an altcoin season, if let's say there even is one, I just want to be holding, waiting, and just staying patient. That's about it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a nice day. It's Malay the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.